Alright, well, finally finished the stress test bullshit. The other day, actually it was yesterday, I had to go for part 1. So they shoot the radiation or whatever it is, nitro, whatever it is, they shoot into your veins so that everything shows up. They did that, and then I had to get on the old treadmill for a while. Now, as a rule, that doesn't bother me, but I do have a back problem, so you try to tell them if they increase the elevation too high that it's going to throw my back out. You know, and they says, well, they have protocols. I said, well, I understand protocols, but the main objective here is for me to get my heart rate up high enough so that you can get a good reading. And they said 130 to 150, anywhere in between. Well, I got it up to 147, and I kept it there. All right, you know, and I just had to tell them, you know, don't bring the elevation up or you're going to throw my back out. Never mind trying to get this done in a hurry. All right, so anyway, that worked out. And then today I had to go up for the so-called rested portion, which means they just shoot the crap in my arm again, and I lay down for 20 minutes while they take pictures. So yesterday they shot the crap in my arm. I ran, got the heart rate going up there, laid down for 20 minutes, and they took pictures while I was so-called under stress. Alright, you know, while everything was pumping. And today was the relaxed portion, to where they just shoot the crap in your arm and you lay there and they take another 20 minutes worth of pictures while you're just in a relaxed mode, you know, so the heart was just normal, I guess. I still don't understand why they don't do the relaxed portion first and then at that point put you on the treadmill. They seem to do it in reverse, and I don't understand why, because the only answers they have for me when I ask is that it's protocol. And I just think that they're a bunch of zombies trained one way, and they really don't know why, because they've never been told. It's just what they're trained to do. You know, they're like everything else that's involved in training in government, naturally. You know, you got to remember, most of the doctors and things are all trained through the medical schools, but the criteria and all the study, the books and all that have to be government approved. And I know that because I had written a book and had to go through the Board of Education with it before I was able to put it out into the market. So, but anyway, I made it through both of them. I won't know what the results are until either one, they call me the next day or two, or two, when I actually go see my heart doctor October 16th for just a normal checkup and to see how the results were. Now I'm thinking if the results are bad, she should call me right away, or whenever they're read. I'm sure they'll read them today or tomorrow, so she'll see them tomorrow or the following day. So today is what, Wednesday? I may hear from her by Friday, if not probably Monday the latest. You know, now if I remember correctly, last time she called me, regardless if it was a yay or nay, and it was always good, so I didn't have to worry about it. But she always called me to inform me that everything was fine and not to worry, and continue doing what I'm doing. So we'll see what happens with that. But the stress tests are over. So now I have another issue I got to do. You know, it sucks when you get old. You know, luckily the heart part, you know, was naturally the most important part. But for a number of years, my eyelids have seemed to have been a little heavy, and I never noticed them. And I am not normally a heavy person. I stand about 6'4". I normally come in between 235, 245, back and forth, back and forth. Never really exceeded that. I think maybe once in my life I had, And my eyelids were always heavy. I think it just runs in the family. But lately, because of the back and the heart and all that kind of crap, this past year I put on an extra 30 pounds. So I became a fat pain in the ass. So, well, I carry it kind of okay. I mean, because I am 6'4", so it kind of helps out a little bit. But the eyelid thing, apparently it's hindering my vision. And so I went to the eye doctor, and they did what they call a tape test, which is you look into this globe, and they have little sparks of light flickering throughout the globe, and you hit a little button every time you see a light. And then they tape your eyelids up, you know, that little eyelid part. They tape that up, and then you look in this globe, and you take the same test, and do the same hitting the button every time you see a light. Well, apparently I was seeing more light when the tape was on holding up this eyelid. So they decided that I have to have a brow lift or an eye lift. I have to go for plastic surgery. Check that shit out. So I gotta go see the surgeon October 10th. And see what we're going to do and discuss it from there. And as long as I don't come out looking like Kenny Rogers, I should be okay. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's not that it's a big deal, it's just that it's more of a nuisance, you know. You gotta, you know, go to the doctor, you gotta get a ride, you gotta go to the hospital, you know, we gotta knock you out for our twilight, you know, crap like that, you know, so it's more of a nuisance than it is anything else. So, but anyway, so far, everything seems to be okay as far as health. So we'll take it one step at a time. The back, well, that's the back. There's nothing you can do about that. All right. I had a problem with L5S1. After a number of attempts of different doctors and different types of therapy, nothing worked. So I ended up doing the surgery. Even though I didn't want to, my doctor kind of told me it was like, you know, the only possible chance at this point of getting rid of the pain, you know, so I did the surgery, and now it's worse, because not only is S1 still acting up due to scar tissue, but now S2, because the scar tissue seemed to have just grown and attacked S2 as well. So now I have S1 and S2. So it's a lifetime of medication for that. So, but that's something I can deal with and live with. All right, and you know, you just do what you got to do. So no big deal. You know, it's just part of getting old, I guess. You know. Next thing, I guess, what comes next? Let me see. Cataracts. Okay, I guess that'll be next. You know, what else is on the agenda? Well, my sugar isn't high anymore. I never had a sugar problem, but because I gained a few pounds, my sugar did go up. But now that I'm back at the gym, my sugar's back down. So the sugar is not really an issue. That was just a sudden spike due to my obesity. So, but I guess there's a number of us doing it and having it. So something you deal with. So I go to the gym 3 times a week and take care of that. You know, $20 a month, you know, it's not a big deal. I mean, it can be for some, you know, especially if you can't get there. But Planet Fitness seems to be all over the place, and, you know, they got this little $20 a month program. You go as many times as you want, bring a guest whenever you want, you know, do whatever it is you want to do. So, and 24 hours a day, which is great. So, and that's about it. So winter's coming. I'm going to start getting active in the yard a little bit more, seeing that the fall is here, and our fall is upon us, and I got to get some wood split and cut. So that should drop a few pounds there. And then I got to finish painting the garage. That's the outside of the garage, by the way. All right, you've always seen the inside, but you've never seen the outside. All right, and that new part there and those doors and all that, that's where the door used to be. and all that new there, that was actually just an overhang. Inside that, where that level wall is there, that's where the door used to be to get the car in and out. I closed in the overhang and put a set of barn door type barns on the front and left it at that. Now I got to finish painting that. But that's the garage, the shop. Alright, so now I can get the tractor in there for the winter. I'll just back it right in when it snows, open up the barn, and push the shit out of the way. So, but I'll tell you what, as heavy duty as the tractor may seem to be, and it is four-wheel drive, when you're pushing snow with a bucket, you can't divert the snow from side to side. So it's just gathering up in front of you. And it starts to get heavy, and the wheels start to spin. Now, those wheels are filled with a citrus type material, something that doesn't freeze, and it adds weight. So each one of those wheels probably weigh in at about 130, 140 pounds, or better actually, in the back. The front wheels, probably about 40, 45 pounds. So, but you add weight to it and it helps. I got chains for it, but I got to put wheel spacers on them because the chains hit the frame. So it's just one thing after another. However, if you do have a tractor and you want to add weight to it to get some of those, some of that weight to get those wheels digging in, let the air out and fill them up with some type of a 50-50 mix of antifreeze, and top it off with a little air. Once you can't get any more fluid in there, and it'll just siphon in if you take out the little valve. And once you get that all done, then you just top it off with a little air in each one. Make sure you got the same amount of pressure, and make sure the valve stem is upright when you put air in it. Otherwise the water or antifreeze will be squirting out of it. And you don't want to use water because it will freeze up and you'll have problems. And not only that, but you'll rust your rims from the inside out, which you don't want to do. But believe it or not, you know, you put 5-6 gallons of antifreeze in each wheel. In case of antifreeze, you know, you got a little bit of weight to it there. So, and that helps, believe it or not. There you guys, I'm done. Let me post this puppy and do what I got to do.